So we have a very well lit brand safe VOD environment today with the Canoe footprint, and we absolutely need to maintain that quality. But we know we need to open up the pipes to programmatic so that we can sell 100%, our programmers could sell 100% of their inventory. Um, so today we don't have the exact capabilities in programmatic as CTV programmatic does for the Canoe footprint, but we are pushing toward that with a path forward while still maintaining our quality. So, for example, uh, in Q1, we enabled two large SSPs, one being the folks at Beachfront, and the other the freewheel programmatic marketplace for access to TV networks VOD inventory. Those two SSPs connected to 8 large DSPs. Those DSPs ran over 25 campaigns in Q1 as we sort of put the wheels on the bus and got this thing working. And now the capability is expanding to more TV networks and more DSPs. So we're up and running, and we look to really turn up the heat in this year.
So what's the value to the publishers, the Beachfront and Freewheel publisher partners through this technology solution?
Yeah, so their direct channels of selling VOD have been very robust, right? Canoe's been doing this with our programmer partners for 9 years now, so well, all that's good. But at the end of the day, any given week, and this is the same for any medium at any time. Sometimes you're 70% sold out, sometimes you're 90% sold out, right? So there's always that ebbs and flows depending upon seasonality and spiking and whatever it may be. So everyone views these early days to let's enable programmatic, let's open up the inventory to perhaps new buyers who are buying CTV and they understand what it's like to buy on-demand video programming, and also just to try to get those sellout rates in times where they may dip below 90% or something, that we can shoot for 100% sold out. So, well, there's good reasons for everyone to want to participate here.
Chris, I wanted to ask about interoperability, and it's a topic that we've been covering and we all talk about. What's the imperative about interoperability, and are we there yet? And what needs to be done?
Yeah, we think of interoperability in two ways, Andy. One, internal to our organization, and then externally. So, for instance, within our own walls, we used to be a single-threaded company just doing video on demand. Now we've taken on the responsibility of linear addressable, so that now when one of our national programmers run an addressable campaign, that's going to cross across linear and across VOD. So we look interoperability that way of, okay, you're going to run one audience segment, and it's our responsibility to make sure VOD and linear are working together in that situation. We also look at it in terms of, okay, we've got this working within our universe, but we know perfectly well that all of our national programmers just don't run a campaign across the Canoe footprint. There's plenty other places it's running. So when one of our customers asks us, for instance, hey, we're doing what we're doing with you, but we need it so that that audience segment will work with another platform, with or what we're doing with satellite or something like that. If our customer needs us to, we will sit there and as two vendors work with the other platform on whatever the national programmer wants us to achieve together, right? So if that's look at reach and frequency across platforms, or to make the audience segments work across platforms. So whatever we need to do to be efficient. So we're very pragmatic that way, Andy. Like, we don't look to boil the ocean for everyone. We just want to be able to serve our customers and the way they need us to solve problems for them. So that's our approach.
Chris, so there's been a lot of conversation about addressable TV, and you guys have been part of that. I want to ask sort of what that roadmap looks like in terms of the reality of addressable TV beyond what we've talked about for so many years, the 2 minutes. Where is that going? How do you see it developing? And what's the role of Canoe?
Yeah, so in 2020, Canoe was named as a service vendor to the On Addressability initiative that was started by our owners, Comcast, Cox, and Charter. So that's one aspect. Um, and we did add linear addressability to 22 million homes of our footprint, footprint of 38 million total. 22 of those we've enabled for linear addressability, in the past few months. So, like I mentioned previously, we've enabled inventory for our TV networks on linear and VOD, linear addressable and VOD. So in Q1, just some stats, we provided addressable services on 27 campaign lines, and that's spanning across 7 TV networks. We stewarded the audience segments, those addressable segments, across the 3 MVPDs across Comcast, Cox, Charter. And the capability now out expanding that to more national TV networks and MVPDs. So yes, we have absolutely finally moved beyond the 2-minute local avails and into the many more opportunities that are the national programmers. And again, wheels on the bus, early days, but we've got the system up and running. We're running campaigns, and we're just going to turn up the heat more this year.
Chris, so we've been talking about the technology of ad delivery for some years, and I think the question of consumer experience is becoming more important nowadays. How do you see that, particularly around frequency capping, other issues that the industry needs to address?
Yeah, so at our core service for VOD, well, once we were done standing it up a few years ago, really our job day in and day out for the last 6 some odd years has been cleaning up the VOD universe on the MVPD platform for our national programmers. So we have addressed all of these issues now are now coming up for CTV, such as exactly like you said, well, frequency capping, or an ad's not there, or there's buffering issues, or competitive separation, or all these issues. We've actually had mechanisms in place and best practices in place to solve those for VOD. So we're doing 2 things here. One, we've extended those or offered to extend those services to our current customers. So we've said to them, look, we're doing this work for you on VOD. We can certainly go up and help you clean up what you're now doing on your streaming services. It's just a natural extension of what we do. And then separately, going to some of these new virtual MVPDs and these streaming services, and letting them know that, well, you don't have to sit here and guess. There are absolutely ways that these things can be solved. Some are technical, some are business issues. So yeah, we're out offering our services and a helping hand to all these folks.